Yes, Jingo. In Moroto. Yes.
On a sunny afternoon, we arrive at Paimol town in Agago district in Northern Uganda to visit the Wipolo Shrine. We are received by Reverend Father Joseph Okumu, the rector of the Shrine of Daudi Okelo and Jildo Irwa, which stands at a hilltop in Paimol.
Of today, a tradition. It has to be kept.
Daudi Okelo and Jildo Irwa were young Catholic converts who were baptized in June 1916 by Cesare Gambaretto, a Comboni missionary father who was then superior at the mission of Kitgum. They received their first Holy Communion and later confirmed in October 1916 as witnesses of the Christ aged 14 and 10 years respectively. They would later offer themselves to replace Antonio, the catechist in charge of Paimol who had died. Neither Daudi nor Jildo knew about the dangerous situation in Paimol.
But the priest knew the situation here in Paimol. He knew that here in Paimol there were cattle raids, cattle rustling between the Acholi and the Karimojong. It was a dangerous area. He knew that walking about 89 kilometers from Kitgum to Paimol was dangerous. Finding elephants, lions on the way.
Nonetheless, with Father Cesare's blessings, the two young catechists made their way to Paimol between November and December 1917.
The priest asked an elderly catechist that knew this area to accompany them, so that they were brought here and they were brought to the chief of this area. So they presented their credentials to the chief of Paimol.
Daudi and Jildo immediately began teaching locals there, especially the children, the word of God until 1918 when the situation worsened and their lives were in danger.
It was October 1918. Things got worse. Many more people were dying of Spanish fever. The local people were not happy. And at the same time, there was resentment on the colonial administrators.
Raiders, Muslim elements, and witch doctors took advantage of the violent situation to get rid of the new religion brought by Daudi Okelo and Jildo Irwa. During the weekend of 19th to 20th October 1918, long before dawn, 5 people headed for the hut where Daudi and Jildo were staying with a clear intention of killing them.
So this hut was actually the Acholi hut belonging to the son of the sub-chief, Ochok Mokomoi, and the 2 catechists were here. The son of the sub-chief was Ogal, and the son was Ochok Mokomoi, and Ochok begged the killers if they wanted to kill the Daudi and Jildo, to bring them out, not to kill them inside this house, because it would be bad fortune to them.
Daudi and Jildo were killed aged 18 and 14 years respectively. Their bodies were left unburied until a few days later when some people tying a rope around their necks dragged their bodies over a nearby empty termite hill. The mortal remains collected in February 1926 were later placed in the mission church of Kitgum at the foot of the altar of the Sacred Heart. Today, a shrine stands on top of what is believed to be the termite hill where the two were dumped. Christians from Uganda and across the country's borders gather here in Paimol on 20th October every year to remember Daudi Okelo and Jildo Irwa. This site has become an important tourist and religious destination that attracts visitors throughout the year. Pope John Paul II beatified the 2 martyrs on October 20, 2002 at St. Peter's Square in Rome during the World Missionary Day. This after the Pope had visited Uganda in 1993. Daniel Kibet, NTV.